Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I am Morris Merriweather, the author of Enough is Enough, Public Education Has Spiraled Out of Control. Also, I'm the host of Straight Talking Room 503, and I'm so glad that you was able to attend class this week. We will dispense with the roll again because it appears that the students who want to attend class are present. Then those who want to bury their head in the sand and pretend that nothing is wrong in public education, they are not here, and I don't expect them to attend. But I do appreciate you coming each week, and thank you so much for joining me this week. This week, the topic will be, we need to drain the swamp, and we need to wash, agitate, and let it soak. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me, and let's get underway. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just have a little chit-chat this week, if you don't mind. We know that President-elect Trump will be assuming office soon. Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it amazing that all of the appointments has been white males? We had a large number, not a great number, but a percentage of African Americans who joined the Trump campaign. And there was women who joined the campaign. They had signs of Women's for Donald Trump. But ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump is sending a very strong message that those ladies and African Americans and minorities have not been considered in his key appointment, as he could have sent a very strong signal to minorities as well as women. I want to include you. We're going to be a part of inclusion. But ladies and gentlemen, President-elect Donald Trump failed to do so. So ladies and gentlemen, this week, as we begin to talk about those things that are going on in Donald Trump camp, ladies and gentlemen, he is sending a message of hatred, bigotry. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. President Obama, in the history book of many, will go down as one of the greatest presidents we have ever had. He inherited a lot of mess and junk. And ladies and gentlemen, President Obama was able to get this country back up on track. Regardless what Donald Trump is saying, make America great again. America is great now. Why would people come to a country that's not great? So they're coming in record numbers. That's why we have the problem with the immigrants. Because America is great, Donald Trump sent that message to the white supremacists and to people of hate. In place of bringing this country together as one, Donald Trump is dividing this country. Even in schools, there are students who are saying, drain that swamp. There are students who said, build that wall. Go back to Africa. Go back to your country. You're going to be deported. Kids are not able to sleep at night because of this man. But yet in my hometown and across this country, some of our great politicians have gotten behind Donald Trump. Senators, congressmen, mayors, executives have gotten behind this man just because he's a billionaire. Ladies and gentlemen, we are hurting because of his leadership now. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day. These are people who we see on the street, in the grocery store. How you mayor so-and-so? How you commissioner so-and-so? How you senator so-and-so? How you congressman so-and-so? And these are people who have had a man that have called women's everything, said you can take advantage of them. What do you tell your daughter now, my friends, who are listening to this, that when they come home and say, Dad, he was groping me, he was grabbing me, he was mistreating me, he was talking ways that he shouldn't have said things that to me. You're unable to tell your daughter, now, you should not put up with a man like that. You have to say, well, but Dad, you supported Donald Trump. I know, it was just political correct. Well, Dad, that's why Todd is treating me this way, because he know that you are supporting a man who has disrespect for women. They'll be sitting in church this coming Sunday to come. Fathers of daughters, bankers, attorneys, lawyers, people of distinction, they say in the community. Ladies and gentlemen, they will be sitting in church praising God, but yet God said in his word, do unto others as you have them to do unto you. what go around come around. And they're sitting in church and they're supporting a man that has caused all kind of problems across this country. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. West Virginia mayor resigned after comparing the First Lady, Michelle Obama, to an 8. She stated that she's an 8 in heels. This is due to our elected president. Then we had the county mayor in the hot seat that she made statements about the First Lady. Then in Atlanta, school employee fired after she compared the First Lady to a gorilla. Ladies and gentlemen, something is badly going wrong. A Norfolk educator posted on Facebook comments about Michelle Obama. Her name was Jane Woods. She says, and I quote, "I admire gorilla more than I admire her." Wait, I forgot. She is a gorilla. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all to our representatives and people who are backing Donald Trump, a man that this is the first time in the history of the world that we have had a man of this caliber in our White House who, ladies and gentlemen, should never have been there. But yet we have people, because he's rich and because they want things for their children and their future generation of children, that they would allow this man to be president and stand behind him. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day. Ladies and Donald Trump said it so well. He said that it is time to drain the swamp. Ladies and gentlemen, all across the country, in all 50 states, it is time to drain the swamp of these so-called politicians, these so-called leaders, these so-called religious leaders, these so-called civic leaders, these so-called civil rights leaders that have stood with this man. It's time to drain the swamp. They are hurting education. Donald Trump is not for public education. Donald Trump is for vouchers for private schools. He's supporting the rich. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to drain the swamp of these liars, these hypocrites, these people who are smiling in our face, fooling us, carrying on, and not helping the children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evidence, especially in my hometown, and I always talk about what's going on in my hometown because it's going on in your hometown. But ladies and gentlemen, where are the politicians that the African American community? It's a shame. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Preachers, politicians, elected officials, and minority elected officials in particular, who supported candidates who will not come to the school board meeting and address the fact that all children are entitled to a public education, a quality public education, ladies and gentlemen. Where are they? Where are we following religious leaders who does not attend public meetings and speak out in favor of all kids, in particular those kids of Mexican descent, Latino, Hispanic, African Americans? Why are we not speaking out? Are we afraid of Mr. Charlie that much? We are going back to institutionalizing slavery all over again. We are afraid to speak up. Are you afraid of being tarred and feathered? Are they going to cut your foot off? What are you afraid of? Donald Trump said it so well. What the hell you got to lose by not standing up for all children? Ladies and gentlemen, we're in trouble. And I feel so sorry for the spouses of these weak men who sit back and know that your husband is supporting the man of Donald Trump. And ladies and gentlemen, who will not come to board meeting. Why is it that Jane is not asking, Mr. Jane, why are you not attending the meeting? Why are you just speaking out for Melanie? Why are you not speaking out for all children? Everybody is important. It's a rainbow effect. We all need to come together. Ladies and gentlemen, we're all on this ship together. And if it leans to the left, we're all going to lean to the left. And if it leans to the right, we're all going to lean to the right. Why are we not standing up? Why are parents not coming out? But yet they're making their kids get on the bus. They're dropping them off at the schoolhouse, but they won't come to the schoolhouse. They won't come to the school board meeting and see what's going on with their child. But yet they say, I care about my kids, Mr. Meriwether. I care about my child. I love my child. If you love them, you'll show it. Would you marry a woman that says she loves you, but she never show you that she loves you? Then why would you have parents who say they love children, but their child, but never will come to parent-teachers meeting, never come to the school board meeting, never address the superintendent? Ladies and gentlemen, when we was talking about last week, when they was talking about the next superintendent and the criteria, I looked around the boardroom and I said, where are the civil rights leaders? Where are the civic leaders? The fraternities, the organizations, the Women's Federation Club? Where are the religious community? Why are our elected officials that we went out and voted for? Why in the hell are they? They was not there because they know they're not supporting public education. They for the voucher system. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you grinning and hee-haw and going on in their face. It's time for a revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, shame on you. But one thing I will be able to say, that you will stand judgment. The Bible tell you that. You will reap what you sow. Whatsoever go around, come around. You will stand judgment for not standing up for all of the children. That is why we have so many problems in our community with children. They don't have anyone to believe in. They're looking at the adults. It's not the children. It's the adults. They're looking at us for leadership. They're looking for us to take care of them. What are we doing? We're kissing butt. We're kissing butt and staying at home. But when election time comes, the doors of the churches are open for the politicians. And then they go right back to doing what they want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, shame on you. At least I'm standing for something. And you're not standing for anything. That's why you're falling for anything. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with me. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I went and found an old washboard that my mother used to have. I used to wash Mama. She would get that old washboard and she would just wash those clothes like that. She would wash sometime to Mama's knuckles, sometime would be blistered because of her washing, trying to take care of her children, trying to take care of her family. Ladies and gentlemen, why is it that we have not got our Board of Education washboard out? Our caring Board of Education. Our washboard of caring for all children. Our washboard of wanting to see everybody succeed. Why haven't we begin to wash out and drain the swamp of these people that does not care for all children, does not care about all kids getting a quality education? Why have you just pretend staying with people in your home that will not get out and support all children and saying, I'm married to so-and-so. So-and-so is my cousin. The mayor is my friend. The judge is my friend. The congressman is my friend. The representative is my friend. And they do not attend meetings and ask questions only about taking care of feathering their cap, filling their pockets. Why are we not questioning our school board representatives? Why are we allowing another superintendent to be appointed that will not care for all of the children? Ladies and gentlemen, we'll sleep at the wheel. But I'll tell you what, I sure miss my mom because my mom would take care of us. I know that there are children now saying, why my mom is not taking care and looking out for me. But ladies and gentlemen, I was privileged to have a good mother, a good father that they cared. And ladies and gentlemen, let me share this with you. I remember Mama. Mama had an old washing machine. Some of you may not know what I'm talking about. But that old round washing machine that would agitate, it had an agitator in there. And you would take your clothes and put it in the washing machine. And then you would turn it on. And then them clothes would agitate. You got your washing powders and your suds in there. And I would stand there just as a little boy, looking over and peeping over in the tub. And I said, Mom, what's going on? She says, we're washing clothes. And I would wash those clothes and they would agitate in there. They did not have the luxury of the new touch screen washing machine that we have now. The front loaders and all of the fine things with different things that you can do from this and delicate fabric and all that kind of good stuff. You know what I'm talking about. But that old washing machine, and you would just watch it. It would just agitate a little bit. Agitate. Cleaning the clothes. Why are we not cleaning up and draining the swamp of some of these people that doesn't care anything for public education? Why are you seeing them in church in the morning? And you're saying, how Reverend so-and-so? Reverend so-and-so never shows up at public meetings and address the public education. Why are you speaking to lawyer so-and-so, judge so-and-so, county commissioner so-and-so, school board member so-and-so, and he's not speaking out about your child? He's not standing up. But yet, you have respect for him, and he's telling you, I have no respect for you, and I don't have no respect for your child. But I do have respect for mine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was in the store last week, and one of the young ladies told me, she said, Mr. Merriweather, do you know that school board so-and-so and school board member so-and-so, their child doesn't even attend public school. They go to private school. All of that kind of mess going on. You hadn't said nothing. They're representing public education. It's supposed to be representing public education. And their child are going to private school. Do you in the hell think that they're going to really be supporting public education and their child is attending public school? Are you that naive and you that dumb and you don't understand that? My goodness. But ladies and gentlemen, back to what Mama was doing. Mama had those clothes in her. Then all of a sudden, the Mama would stop it. And then we children would come in there and Mama say, get on the other side over there. That's an old washing machine. And she would take the clothes and she would feed it through the wringer. What this wringer would do, the wringer, then you get on the other side and you put it through the wringer. And then you go reach and Mama get another one. And she put it through there. That would get the suds and the old nasty stuff away from the clothes and would drain back into the big old washing machine. And then Mama would reverse it. Mama would drain that old water out. And then she would put fresh water in there. Then that fresh water was the rinse water. Now, the rinse water was to get the impurities that was in that soap and suds and the old clothes. And then she turned the agitator on. And again, I said, Mom, is it time to get them out now? She said, no, let it soak a little bit. So she would just cut the washing machine off and let it just soak. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we need to do with public education. That's what we need to do with what I say to you every week. You need to let it soak a little bit. But you look at it, turn it off, and wait again for another class. Why don't you let it soak in your mind? Reverend Baxter and I have brought you the facts. What's going on in my hometown of Jackson, Tennessee. And the same thing is going on in your hometown. You need to let what I'm saying soak a little bit. Not long. Mama didn't let it soak a long time. She would let it soak just a little bit. Then Mama would say, come on, boy. It's time to get these clothes. And Mama would go out there and she'd turn the washing machine back on. And oh boy, it would go back to agitating again. Getting the impurities out. That's what we need to do. Get these board members out that don't want to work. Get these mayors and congressmen out that don't want to work. Get these religious leaders out of our churches and out of our place and out of our business that don't want to perform for everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, something's going wrong. Is Mr. Charlie really, what is he promising you? 40 acres and a mule and we haven't got it yet? What is he promising you? That you will stick with Mr. Charlie? He lied to you all the time. Letting him be elected year after year. What are you doing? Mama, it's time to stop the agitation. And Mama would stop. She said, boy, get on the other side over there. Then Mama would take the clothes. She would run it through the wringer. Pull it, boy. And then I get on the other side and I will pull it. And out of there will become clean. Mama said, put it in the bucket there. Put it in the basket. And we will put it in there. Any time that we put the right people into public education, any the right time we put the right superintendent in, the right school board member, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to ask you this. As I bring you to a close of this session in Straight Talk in room 503, I'm asking you to let it soak. Let the data, let the information that I bring you each week, let it soak. But be like Mama. Don't let it soak for a long time. Agitate it a little bit. Let it agitate. And then, ladies and gentlemen, any time you get up off your rusty dusty and then do as Mama would do, allow it to go through the wringer. It's time to wring out some of those things that are not good for us. It's time to wring out some things that are not good for all children. Let it run through there. And then what we need to do, we need to put the good in the basket And then we need to get rid of those that are not doing what they need to do for public education. We need to get rid of them. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. And as I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get to work. We need to watch some of this mess that's going on with public education. We need to get rid of some people. We need to stand up to some people. Quit grinning and laughing and shaking hands with people that don't have your interests at heart. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Morris Merriweather, the host of Straight Talk in Room 503. Thank you for joining me again for another week, and I look forward to talking to you next week. But ladies and gentlemen, let this stuff soak. It's time for a change. We need to drain some swamps. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Morris Merriweather, and the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next week. Call a friend and tell a friend. Video 78 is ready to be heard.